Allison.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Welcome to Honey Badger Radio. We're here today with a deer of slightly bluish hue to cover a video called what is it called, Brian? What is the video called? Damn it.
The video is called "Is Mansplaining Real?" Does mansplaining real? Basically,
Does mansplaining real?
does it?
Does it? Is it?
These are the burning questions, the ones that
burning
are on
questions
everyone's
yeah.
mind. Yes.
Okay, so do you want to just get right in, or did you have anything you wanted to preface all this with, Teal Dare? Do you want to say your awkward self?
I will preface this by saying I hate my life and wish I was dead. Thanks for inviting me here, guys.
Okay. With that, I think we should just
get stuck into it. In the words of, as the words of Bane 666 would say, let's get stuck into it.
Yep.
Do you think mansplaining is a real thing?
Mansplaining?
Man what?
Planning? Like explaining manhood? Or manscaping? Or what is that?
Oh, you're talking about men wanting or liking to explain everything like that.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm just pausing it there for the banana. But let's just put it in there that most people don't know what mansplaining is because they have real concerns in their life. That's all I'm going to put out there.
What the hell are those things, right?
You know,
pretty much,
putting food on the table.
pretty much everything that...
I don't know. Okay, here we go.
I knew what mansplaining was, and I was pretty certain they knew it too. I just had to get them talking long enough to prove it.
Oh,
You ever
shit, this
interrupt-
music.
Oh, it's the worst.
Christ.
Yeah, so which, auto royalty-free site did this piece of music come from that they're not crediting? Or is this just a default piece from Windows Movie Maker again?
It's probably one from one of her friends in music class that did it for their thesis or some shit.
Could you imagine dying to this music?
Yes, actually.
Let's just play a little bit
Are you
more.
like in a lounge elevator when it happens? I could see that. Like,
or just
overdose
just
on
the
heroin.
lounge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slowly dying. I like how she says, you know, I know mansplaining is real, and I'm pretty sure they do too. I just have to get them to admit it. Men, the patriarchy is always hiding all of its own sexist
Secrets?
shit. Yeah, its deepest, darkest secrets, such as men knowing things and wanting to share those things with other people.
It's the patriarchy's always sweeping itself under the rug, is it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, here
Just
we
to
go.
hide it. Yeah, okay.
Interrupt people when they're trying to tell an anecdote or something like that?
Not at all.
You never interrupt people?
No. I don't do that myself, so I haven't seen that in my workplace at all.
Okay,
so
what
I would
is
never
the
do
point of this?
I don't know. But that sweater,
Like-
though.
Which sweater? The one with the beardy guy?
The guy with the red sweater and the checker shirt. He's patriotic today.
Okay, so essentially she's going around asking them whether or not they do this thing. Is she going to update her information in response to that, or is this just is the reveal that they actually do it? And how would she find out if they actually do it?
When they explain something to her, they've actually done it.
Okay, so in explaining that they don't mansplain, that's mansplaining.
Yes.
Ugh,
That's
okay.
what I mean.
The PSO.
There's no. This is a really stupid video. As an
This
aside,
is just like the opening stupid shit that they do, where it's like, oh, we want to prove premise, so we're going to find a bunch of people who don't know what we're talking about, and then, aha, subversion, look, we were right that's all it is.
yeah.
Oh, I'm beginning to wonder why the fuck I suggested this.
I wonder when San
Because
Francisco.
you hate us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, you're right. That's a perfect explanation. I
That's
hate you
perfect. I wonder
both, and
when
myself apparently.
I wonder when San Francisco is going to lose their football team due to it being too heteronormative and masculine. If it's going to go anywhere, it's going to go in San Francisco first.
My workplace at all.
Oh.
So.
Well, I don't ever do that. I've learned to keep quiet, so my opinions stay here and don't reach this part.
I've given up.
Wow, dude. Really?
So
Well,
I'm just.
this is
I'm
probably
just,
accurate. Like, I mean, a lot of these guys are probably like, every time I open my mouth, the women's slap me with another prerogative based on my having a penis. So what's the point anymore? But I'm guessing that these are not the responses that she was expecting. Where's the twist here?
Well, these guys are just, they sound to me just like the typical henpecked husband types. It's like I've given up expressing my true opinion to my girlfriend, wife, spouse, other half, whatever, because I know that she's going to read too much into something. I know that she's going to take something the wrong way, and I'm going to get the silent treatment, and then I have to try and figure out what I did wrong, even when it's all in her head. It's like that wonderful little picture that floats around on the internet where it's the woman's diary and the man's diary, and the woman's diary is like, my boyfriend hasn't spoken to me for like 3 hours today. There's something wrong with him. Like, he doesn't seem to know what's going on with life. He seems really distracted. Is it something that I did? Is there something that he did? Is there another woman? And the guy's diary is just like, motorcycle won't start. Can't figure out why.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So
I want to get to the twist.
there's a twist.
There has to be a twist. This is too honest.
Okay, we'll see. I think this might just be just dumb. Okay, so on with the guy with the very light blue polo shirt that I don't know why he thought it was a good idea.
My opinions stay here and don't reach this part.
I've given up. So I'm just along for the ride nowadays.
Now, it
I
doesn't...
used to drive the bus, but now I'm just a passenger.
Okay, he wouldn't let her speak, but I felt that the tiny woman was trying to communicate with me. So I followed her wordless directions and started talking to women. Have you ever been interrupted by a guy?
What the fuck? Okay, what?
This is just a bullshit excuse to do what she actually wants to do, I think.
No, I think that she, I mean, the thing is that I know it's supposed to be a joke, but I don't understand, like...
Well, basically, men aren't giving me the answer I want because they're actually breaking the narrative because they don't mansplain. They're admitting to not mansplaining. They're admitting to not manterrupting, talking over women, not listening to them, all that. None of them have admitted doing it so far. So she's like, okay, wait, that's not working because I know mansplaining is real. I have to prove it because I know it's true. So let me go to women now. And this little girl thing is like the transition, right?
Yeah, it's the transition, but it's supposed to be a joke, right?
Yeah.
So is she making fun of the fact that she has a stupid transition?
Maybe. I don't. I think this is like, you know that how this has become a modern trend, like this sort of forced, awkward, lol, so random sort of shit. Like, oh, I do things
my life.
like, yeah, it's like this sort of, oh, I do things in a slightly wacky and weird way. Ooh, look at me. I think this is just playing into that nonsense.
Okay,
Oh,
gotcha.
I saw a child doing something, therefore it means way more than it actually does, and stupid shit. And
Yeah.
Recently, a lot of the pleasure of responding to this stuff has sort of leaked out of my life. If there was any pleasure, I guess there was the pleasure of sheer horrendous rage and outrage. But, and the reason why is because I was speaking to a guy who attended the Now meeting in about 2012, or even before then, when they were talking about the war on women rhetoric. And he described how they were talking about it like as a political tool, as a way of manipulating people's opinion. And he described how they knew it was bullshit. At the Now conference, they knew that a lot of the shit that they talk about is bullshit. So how much of this is genuinely being advanced, and how much of this do they know that just pushes our buttons? That existential crisis sort of leaks out all the pleasure in treating them like idiots. But anyway, go ahead.
do you feel like you're being elaborately trolled by feminism now?
I do.
Is 2020 going to be the year when feminists finally publish the paper that just says, "Lol, it was a joke, guys. It was satire. It was a social experiment."
Yeah, it's just a meme, bro.
What do you think would happen if they did?
I would laugh my ass off at that, but that would assume that they're that clever, which I seriously doubt.
Well, I think the ones in charge might be. I'm beginning to doubt that they seriously advocate this shit on a genuine level. And I know that this seems to come out of left field, but this joke where she's essentially saying it's the joke here is that she's using a ridiculous excuse to now turn to women. It just an absurd excuse. And if you
I think it's
analyze,
just part of the millennial bullshit humor where they just do stupid shit like this, and it might also be kind of, oh, men are adults and adulting is hard, and women are children, so like the child inspired me to talk to women.
Yeah, it could be.
Because
it's ironic.
Adulting, guys. Yeah.
okay, maybe I'm reading too much into
You're
this.
giving these people way too much credit. I think you're giving them way too much credit. All right, so let's go.
I mean, please continue giving them credit. I enjoy the over-analysis of it. It's hilarious.
Make them sound super robust.
Yeah. It can't just be that this is a little girl who's like, I've got a fucking balloon animal, guys, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's not possible.
Social commentary on... I mean, if you look at what she's holding right now, you can clearly see a long pink shaft and two big blue ball-like objects at the bottom of it. She is, in fact, being raised right now to pleasure men in the heteronormative, phallocentric patriarchy. That's what's going on in that picture right there. God damn it, I should be a feminist. I'm going to go write a paper and become fucking peer-reviewed top of my game. I am so robust right now. Ugh,
so robust.
Feels good.
Okay, but if we overanalyze these things to the point of them becoming robust, can we then actually criticize them?
Well,
Because
Christy Winters keeps saying that we need to apply the principle of charity to things, which means assuming the most robust position possible, so I think it's okay. But then, of course, they come back and say, well, you're overanalyzing it, it just makes you look like a bunch of tin foil hat wearers, so no matter what you do, you can't actually win. Maybe we should just stop playing. That's how you win the game, I think.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that one. But then again, we can't stop playing yet because we're not at the end of the video. So let's play.
Let us play.
List directions and started talking to women. Have you ever been interrupted by a guy? All the time.
Oh, for fuck's
You get
sake!
Here's a specific question. Ever in your life, ever had this happen? Why, yes, mansplaining. It's institutional sexism everywhere.
Okay, well, this is what I don't get is she gets the same response from the guys. The guys are obviously saying that they get interrupted by women or that women don't want to have their opinion, so they've stopped giving it. So instead of coming to the obvious conclusion that humans interrupt humans, and this is a human thing that humans that, human to human, she somehow it just becomes, oh, only men do it because it's bad and men are bad, but we don't hate men.
Allison, have you ever been scratched by a cat?
I
In
have.
your life? You've been scratched? Cats are violent. We need to get rid of all of them. Because obviously, you've been scratched. That means that's all they do. That's their whole life. We need to get rid of cats. Gas the cats.
Have you ever been interrupted by a man in your entire life? Who is got like? Is there a woman on this planet, or a man for that matter, or a man who has never been interrupted by a woman? I just interrupted Brian, for fuck's sake. I'm sure he's interrupted me. Like what?
That's mansplaining. When you do it, it's seizing control back. You're taking your own.
It's leaning in.
Yeah, you're leaning in. That's right.
Oh. It's because the interrupting dynamic is interrupting plus power plus privilege. So, Allison, in the underpowered, underprivileged position, you can never truly interrupt someone. You merely assert into the conversation. You assert all over it. You don't actually interject into it. And you see, interjection and interrupting implies penetration of the conversation. So, clearly that is, again, another sign of the phallocentric nature of society, that men feel entitled to just penetrate a conversation. They're basically verbally raping you.
Mm-hmm.
All I could say,
balloon animal was raping that little girl. She didn't.
Precisely.
And wouldn't this woman internalize misogyny? Look at what she has in her hand.
A microphone.
Absolutely.
It's a penis.
Yes, obviously.
I mean, she doesn't even know it, but yeah.
Yeah, the patriarchy works in mysterious ways. It's worked to conspire to have this woman thrust a phallic object towards her lips. I also want to mention, just mention the guy to the right. Look at that expression.
He's very disinterested.
Yeah, he is actually this woman's husband, if I remember correctly, from watching this. To which I've then got to say, make a little point here, because, we live in a society that hates women, just hates them. I'm looking at like what he's wearing, what she's wearing, and it's just one of these people is, having a lot more time and money invested in them than the other one. And I'm also noticing like the age discrepancy here as well. It's like she's landed herself an older gentleman here, clearly. I wonder like how much of how good she's looking is basically being bought and paid for by him.
Well, I mean, they also could be of similar ages. It's a little difficult to tell. She might have aged better, or she might be dyeing her hair, or she might have Botox or something. So
that's what I mean. Who's paying for that?
I see. Oh, yeah, who's paying for that? I just love his expression. It's just, I just love his expression. It's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I noticed Brian mentioning the dog. They're just in this still. That dog has that proper like 1,000-yard stare. That dog doesn't want to be with her. It's the same expression the guy's got actually as well.
They both seen some shit.
Okay. Well, I mean, to be quite honest, if some doofus came up to me with a microphone and said, "Can I speak to you without your husband around?" and you actually can bitch about him, I'd be like, well, first of all, she's doing it right in front of her husband, apparently. Like, you're a dick, lady. You're basically saying that your husband doesn't listen to you, or you're insulting your husband right in front of him, and he isn't saying anything. He's just got the eyebrow up. He's like, "Yep, day. This is just another day for me. Here we go again." The dog's like, "Yep, this is another day for me too." Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, moving on.
Interrupted the most, like at work or when you're in conversation with friends?
By my husband mostly. He can't help it. I think it's stronger than his will.
In my family.
What the fuck? Okay.
This person. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What? But she just like, they just publicly humiliated this guy. Like, this is sort of, does nobody else strike this as being slightly abusive? I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about you.
It's a dick move more than anything, really. It's just like, oh, has a guy ever interrupted you? Well, yeah, I've just interrupted you, Alison. I apologize, but I felt the need to. I'm going to use my patriarchal privilege. I'm going to assert it all up in your podcast, yo. But
it's okay. I like that.
It's like, look, okay, people get interrupted. People interrupt. Verbal communication is imperfect. Sometimes people have little breaks in their speeches, and people think they're done when they're not. Sometimes people just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and sometimes you have to fucking interrupt them, Karen. Yeah. But she's not here to bitch slap me about that, so it's fine. I'm going to do this.
But I like how his expression has changed too, because now it seems more pained. I was like, have we just seen a microcosm of this couple's life? Like, she feels perfectly free in insulting her husband in public without him being able to rejoin. And he's just like, I'm gonna feel that moment of pain and just continue on. Yeah. Because I have no ability to leave you without losing significant amounts of my money.
And the dog.
And the dog. I mean, it's just, maybe I'm writing a really elaborate, overwritten story. But I think this whole exchange really speaks volumes. That, first of all, this woman can go out there and listen to a bunch of men say, "Hey, yeah, that happens to me. I feel like I'm unheard and my opinions are unwanted." Then turn and say, "Well, I got to talk to the women's." And the women say, "Yeah, I feel like my opinions are unheard and unwanted." And then have this exchange with this couple where the female essentially insults her husband in public. Without him even being in position to talk back, because I noticed the other women were right there, and they could have probably stood up for themselves. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a joke all around. Okay.
When is this guy going to use his patriarchal privilege and backhand this woman for shit talking him? Or is he just going to, like, wait and... I know what's going to happen. They're going to get home and he's going to fucking lamp her. That's why she's wearing the massive glasses.
That's right. He already has.
That's what's going on here.
Okay, but do you really honestly believe this man could lift a lamp? I mean, he's looking a bit old.
No, the lamp... He's a guy who just looks like he's sort of given up and is just like... He's counting the days. It's like, oh, the sweet release that will come. God damn it, why are people living so long now? Why has medical technology got so good?
I hope that music doesn't play while I'm dying. Okay.
Moving on.
All right.
it's stronger than his will.
In my family, most of the time, my dad maybe interrupts me and says, "No, this is not right," and I'm like, "It is."
Oh, there's a lot of editing going on in that interview, but okay.
That's
I guess it's just
an
her dad then.
argument.
Yeah.
That's an argument. You know, I think that her brain would just explode if she ever had dinner with me and my dad. Because that's pretty much, we're just basically telling each other we're absolutely wrong for 2 hours. Both of us. Like, you're wrong! You're wrong! And then he'll say, you're wrong! That's normal, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, because we're discussing a topic and we disagree. That's what happens. It's not a patriarchal conspiracy to take away your fucking voice. Okay.
Sometimes people just have different opinions on things. Herp-de-derp. Believe it or not, there are some topics which there is no objective yes or no. Sometimes there are things which are down to subjective opinion and taste. You are free to disagree with people. Disagreement does not mean you are being silenced.
Yeah, and your
Why
dad
are
might
they
be
taking?
right.
Yeah, no, he's never right.
Also,
Never.
one thing, is this still being phrased in the have you ever sort of thing? Because it's like, so your father has occasionally told you that you're wrong. Hang on, isn't that what dads are supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, especially when you're a kid, like, you know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of kids out there who think they know better than their parents. You don't, because you're a child, so you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not through any fault of your own, but kids are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, this entire piece is about taking innocuous events in someone's life and making them into some gigantic, horrible, oppressive conspiracy. Isn't it? Like, is that the ultimate conclusion of all this? I mean, I don't want to put words in her very chipper mouth, but it does seem to be that she's working towards something. So let's let her get on with it.
Moving on then.
This is like a man thing you have in your head. It made me wonder, what was this man thing
Wait,
inside their
what
head?
man thing inside?
I know, it's a brain.
No, mysterious, go back. What was the logic
It's a
here?
man thing inside of her head. It's a brain. I don't know. That's what it sounds like. All right, I'll go back a little bit.
I'm like, it is. This is like a man
No,
thing you have in your
where did
head.
this come from? She was obviously, like, the man thing inside of her head was in response to what? Go back a little bit further, like maybe to 120. Because I need to know. Well, yeah, because it's only going to be like 7 seconds, right?
Yeah.
It's
going to be an unbearable
7
7 seconds, but yes.
I know.
Me and says, no, this is not right. And I'm like, it is. This is like a man thing you have in your head.
What?
It made
Okay, so she's saying every time her father or a man disagrees with her, it's a man thing that's inside of his head?
Well, either that or, yeah, basically. But I think there's a bit of coaxing. Like, there could have
Going
been,
on with that interview?
Because there's some editing that's there, right? And it's possible
Yeah, you're right,
that
you're
she
right.
was like, where do you think that comes from? And she's like, it's a man thing inside of your head. And also, doesn't seem that English is her first language either, right? So, it doesn't seem to be. So maybe she's not using the right words.
Or maybe men are like Daleks, you
She
know, and they
doesn't-
have like
She doesn't have the
phallic
best
protrusion
words. She doesn't have good words.
coming
They're
out of
not
their head.
great words. Her words, they're not the best. They're not tremendous.
Okay. Maybe there will be some tremendous words in here if we give it a little time.
But not in a braggadocious way. All right, moving on.
made me wonder, what was this man thing inside their heads? I wanted to crack one open like an egg, but my producer, who is a man, told me no.
Oh, for fuck's sake, stop. Oh my god,
That's
this is
so funny.
so fucking patronizing. Oh, and after going to the women's strike march and watching the women's, it was so bizarre because I was watching this march and there would be men calling the chants. So the men would call the chants and the women would repeat them. I'm like, Jude, really? The women's strike march is basically patriarchy. That's what this feels like. It feels like this condescending bullshit. Anyway. I mean, why would the producer say, no, you can't crack men's heads open, which is, it's ridiculous. It's a joke, obviously. But then not point out the obvious, like, if men are saying that they're being interrupted by women and they can't express their opinion because women don't want to hear it. And women are saying, yeah, occasionally men disagree with us. Maybe this whole interrupting thing has nothing to do with gender and it's just a human experience. Are they making fun of the entire concept of mansplaining?
That's what I was getting at. I can't tell if Mike.com is doing this in defense of mansplaining using humor, or if they're against mansplaining using humor. Because the one thing they're not doing in both of these examples that I'm trying to get is they're not doing humor. It's not funny. And I know they're trying to do that and they're failing spectacularly, but are they also trying to defend mansplaining or attack or criticize the concept of mansplaining? I don't know.
What do you think, Teal Deer? Do you have any light to shed?
This is just still, to me, smacks of this forced, awkward, ironic hipster humor, which is not funny, not witty, and it just kind of like leaves you sitting there like, was that supposed to be the joke? Because whatever.
Okay, let's see if it gets better.
Cracking men's brains open. Ha ha ha! That's very funny.
Like an egg.
It's really funny. Yeah, like an egg, like you would with a machete, like they did during the Rwanda massacre, and it's really funny because men are the majority of those people who are genocided, which makes it really even more funny.
Hilarious.
Okay, hilarious.
As an aside, this is super random, but I had this thought since we're talking about cracking guys' heads open like eggs. Did you know that the idea that Humpty Dumpty is visualized as an egg is not based on anything written in the fable or the rhyme at all, and there's no evidence to suggest that Humpty Dumpty was ever an egg? So that may as well have been a man that fell and broke up into a million pieces in the original story. Just throwing it out there.
And maybe he was pushed by a Jew.
Maybe. That's...
Oy vey.
Shut it down. Okay, moving on.
I think that sometimes when a man just knows he's right, he's right.
I mean, maybe sometimes women talk for too long. That's it.
Talk for too long.
Yes!
That's not possible. Nobody at Honey Badger Radio who's a woman has ever talked for too long.
Notice this. I want to go back because I love this dude. This guy here is a legend. I want to go back a little bit when he says, right after he says women talk for too long. What I would have said, they don't shut up. Don't you get it? But let's see what she says, or he says, and notice the reaction from the other dudes.
I mean, maybe sometimes women talk for too long. That's it.
Talk for too long?
I mean, we can kind of explain the same thing, but twice as fast.
I don't necessarily.
Did you see how uncomfortable the other men got, though? Especially the one dude.
Yeah, he was grimacing. Yeah,
he was like, "Oh God, don't do that. We're on camera." You know, like, keep your opinions to yourself. This is how you know we live in a patriarchy, because the people who are the ones that are in power are not allowed to even make jokes at the expense of those that have no power. That's how you know that they're in power, right?
You know, I would be fine with this. Like this would be fine if it was just razzing both men and women and allowing them to get their licks in, because they are doing it with men too. Men are getting women just talk too much, and women are like, blah, 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 whatever. You know, just a comical or good-natured battle of the sexes. The only problem is that mansplaining is something that is being used to silence men. So it has a little bit more of a sinister overtone when you realize that. Anyway, continue. And they're trying to make it into something that's sort of light and funny and fluffy. But that can only be if at the end they say, well, you know, it looks like it's just a human thing. Mm-hmm. It's neither male nor female. But that's my 2 pence. Please continue.
I don't necessarily think men interrupt women, but I think sometimes in conversation you have to interrupt certain people.
I think it depends on the type of man you are. I've never really felt that men interrupt women. I actually feel women interrupt men.
Had he...
Whoa.
Whoa! Okay, now it's getting sinister.
She's breaking the conditioning!
Someone bought their water filters. Good girl.
Are you about to just deny her right to her own opinion? Because
are you going to deny this woman of color's lived experience?
Yeah, because I get the feeling that's what's about to happen. Because maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let's continue.
This expression on the host is like, "Oh my God, that was unexpected. What a twist!"
given her his man thing? So he never interrupts.
What?
No, I really.
I'm gonna go back.
Okay,
little
wait
bit.
a second. Good, yeah, go back. He never. Okay, we gotta hear that again.
All right.
Man thing? So he never.
Shit, I didn't go back far enough. Sorry.
You gotta go back
I
about.
think it depends on the type of man you are. I've never really felt that men interrupt women. I actually feel women interrupt men.
Had he given her his man thing?
Okay, wait a second. Well, one would assume he has. They're in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Giggity.
Yeah, I don't think his forehead cracked open and he gave her his man thing via that route.
It was a more surgical injection.
Ah, I see.
Without the surgery.
Okay, but like, so now she has men saying, no, women don't care about my opinion, so I've learned not to give it. We get interrupted by women, and women talk too much or they interrupt us. And she has women saying it. But what is going to be the ultimate conclusion? What is her ultimate conclusion?
I don't know, but I know where all signs are pointing, but okay.
To patriarchal brain parasites, right?
Well, she has internalized misogyny, clearly.
Yeah.
She has internalized the patriarchal values of the society.
Yeah, I know this.
She's got a man thing in her brain.
I know this because Arna Joshi told me.
Okay.
So he never interrupts you.
No, I really don't.
Suddenly.
That was great! Did you see that?
That was awesome.
I'll speak for her. I know the answer to this question.
Never interrupts you.
No, I really don't.
Suddenly, the little woman's message became so clear to me. Men don't know when they're talking.
I do see myself interrupting at times. I don't do it on purpose. It just happens.
If you know that you're being a misogynistic person, then you can at least like.
Oh god, dude.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I take it all back. This isn't an innocent little rubbing of, like just a joshing war of the sexes. This is just the usual bullshit.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
If I interrupt a woman, I'm a misogynist. I'm sorry, I'm white. I'm sorry, I'm male, and so on and so forth.
Okay, let's go on and hear what the dude that does the unboxing videos has to say.
Being a misogynistic person, then you can at least like know how
Why
to change
do
it.
they always-
If you don't realize that what you are doing
You're just
is
naive,
demeaning
yeah.
to people, then you're not gonna
Oh,
know how to fix
God.
it.
Oh my god.
This is the payload. This is the payload, guys. This is the actual message. You can't be Puritan judgy Puritans and humorous at the same time, which is sort of explains why they're not humorous. But seriously, like throwing out all of these moral bullying terms, misogyny, demeaning, when it's obviously something that happens that both men and women. You don't think that women interrupt men? For fuck's sake, is this something that women just can't possibly do? Like, it feels like this is all of this is just a bunch of sexists who can't get past the idea that women are absolutely wonderful. I mean, it reminds me of that that experiment or that acting where they switched Trump with a woman and made Hillary a man. And then a whole bunch of liberals just had like an existential crisis at that moment when they realized that Trump is actually likable, or not, maybe not likable, but that you can see why he was supported. Well, the reason why you didn't see it in the first place, liberals, is because you're a bunch of sexists who can't get, or leftists, it's because you're a bunch of sexists who can't get past the idea that women are wonderful and girls are sugar and spice and everything nice, and boys are puppy dog tails and tar and pig vomit.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if there's a correlation between people who have real problems in their life and people who complain about mansplaining and institutionalized sexism in the freest country in the history of the planet. I wonder about that, because I noticed that when we were going through this video and there were a bunch of people, some of the ones that looked like they came from a more sort of blue collar, middle class or even below perhaps lifestyle, they didn't know what that was. They weren't familiar with the term. and they didn't actually have a concern for it. Actually, it's a pretty good example or a microcosm of that in the couple, where the younger, woman is talking to the lady and she's like, oh yeah, he mansplains all the time, and the man is just like, I don't give a fuck about any of this. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay the mortgage this month, or continue to feed and bring this woman luxuries. And in this example, this dude, with what I can assume it looks like a name brand fucking fitness wear, is talking about, oh, well, in this culture, and it's so misogynistic, we just gotta check our privilege and see what we're doing to women and then change it. That way we can fix the world. And it's like, dude, you need real problems. That's what you need.
Well,
real
he needs-
problems.
It's sorry to interrupt you, Brian, but he needs a reality check. He needs a fucking reality check. Like, how can you seriously... And the shit-eating grit isn't helping you. How can you seriously assert this idea that women are oppressed by having ever in their lives be interrupted by a man? Or seriously assert the idea that men are the only one who do that? Like...
I can fully explain his thought process. It goes something along the lines of cock-a-doodle-doo.
You know what, Brian? I really think that maybe there will be a day that they come out and they'll be like, oh, we were just trolling. You fell for it. Because this guy just feels very trolling.
Well, if they get backed into a corner, they may very well be like, it was just a prank, bro. Just so that it doesn't
pranked
make
your
them
society.
look... Yeah, just so it doesn't look... They don't look bad. I didn't know it was going to go this far. All right, well, anyway.
Yeah.
The bigger problem is that men don't realize that they're mansplaining when they do mansplain.
So what do you think is going to happen to me when I go home with him now?
What the fuck was with those eyebrow twitchings? Oh, shit. And now she's setting up
He's
for
off
the...
his meds.
No, watch his eyebrows.
Yeah.
That they're mansplaining when they do mansplain.
So what do you think is going to happen to me when I go home with him now?
He's going to kick your ass.
Oh, Jesus. I almost feel like, you know what? I don't advocate violence at all, but you are a dick, lady. Or shall I say, you are a cunt.
Quite.
So what do you think is going to happen to me when I go home with him now?
He'll correct you and tell you actually how he doesn't interrupt you. Yeah.
Let's look at his face.
I was scared.
Who the old guy?
Yeah, look at his face. Go back a bit.
Face, though.
Yeah, that woman's face too, yeah.
This one?
That fucking psychotic grin. It's like, oh, I can deal with that. This big... That's... If you can actually go onto that smile that she pulls straight square onto the camera, Brian, can you, like, get that?
Zoom in on the face? How do you do that?
Yeah, of the woman. No, of the woman. Just play it through just a little bit until she does that two-camera grin.
I can deal
a little
with
bit
that.
more. Right, boom, there. Look, that is a fucking predatory as fuck smile. That's not just like top lips going up. That's full on, like, all teeth are being bared. That is a fucking predatory looking smile. After she's just said, oh, he's gonna try and correct me, I can deal with it. And then you're like turning to a camera and giving this fucking predatory grin like that. It's like, you know that even if he tried, he's gonna have zero fucking effect.
Yeah.
On this, because you know you've got the fucking power in this.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Her eyes are probably glowing underneath there. You want me to go back to the dude?
No, just go forward because I believe it. There's a moment.
Show it, yeah.
I was scared for her. I hope she's okay.
Oh, Jesus! I was scared for her. I hope she's okay. Okay, yes, that man is certainly a specter of terror. I think he's thinking about, I think tonight with my soup, I'm going to have some Ovaltine. And then maybe I'll put my feet in the foots massagers.
Yeah.
23
skidoo.
and the bubbles. And I'm like, why is this man terrifying to you?
But just
it looks like
seriously, look at the differences in these two faces. These two women are here mocking this guy. They are both wearing these big fucking grins. And this guy is just sitting over here. He's got this kind of... His eyes aren't engaged in that smile. This is that kind of smile that you put on to be not threatening, because it's not a genuine one with the eye creases going up. This is a guy who's just sitting here just taking this completely fucking stoically. while these
Yeah.
women are basically just cackling harpies at the fact that they're like, oh yeah, I can just totally control my husband if he tried to do anything to me.
But
Yeah,
yet
don't mind
they-
me. I'll just sit here and shit talk him in the middle of public. That's fine.
and
The
then
dog
she
still
has,
has a 1,000-yard stare on.
and yet she still's like, I was afraid for her.
Yeah.
Afraid for-
Well, I think
Just
it was meant
what-
to be. That was another one of those ironic jokes, though.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But what a fucking muddled mess.
I mean, that there's no way that this woman is in any trouble. You can tell by her demeanor; she's totally relaxed. And also, it's fair to point out that this old guy, her husband or whatever, he didn't. Not only did he not speak, but he didn't interrupt her, obviously. And he's sitting on another bench, like he's in the next bench over. So he's actually distanced himself from the entire conversation as much as he could, while still appearing in the shot so that people can confirm that that is her husband. And yet, this is supposed to be about how terrible men are about mansplaining. And I'm guessing that this is specifically to old white men, which this guy is. Because there is such a thing as whitesplaining as well. So.
But I also note that his shirt is pink. Or salmon.
Well, he's comfortable in his sexuality, Allison. That's fine. He can wear pink.
Well, they hate that even more, actually, I think.
He's also got loafers, but, hey, to each his own.
Loafers, yeah. This is the most non-threatening man.
No, not at all.
While we're on this little note of overanalyzing things, I couldn't notice. Do you notice on the bench next to him there is a massive fucking bag?
Mm-hmm.
Whose stuff do you think is in that bag, and who do you think's carrying it?
Oh, it's probably hers, and he's carrying it.
Oh.
That's usually how.
Okay,
it goes. By the way, the interviewer here, she's thick as fuck. But okay, moving on.
I thought that naming this phenomena would allow us to see it more clearly.
Oh,
but
God.
the denial was deafening. I reflected upon the practices of the little woman. Speak softly and carry a big balloon.
Oh, look at us, we're so funny, and it's hipster humor, and oh, Amy Schumer would be proud. Kill yourselves, please. But yeah, do it creatively. That balloon, find the air pump, and suck on it.
I think I might have lost one of those, those little internal organs that you never know what they do, and they have weird names. I think it exploded at the end of that. And I'm currently bleeding to death from the inside out. That was just so... Ugh.
Yeah, I don't think this thing is making the case for mansplaining at all. My only question is, are they trying to make the case or not? Because I can't tell.
Yeah, are they trying to make the case, or is this a joke? Okay, there's like 16 seconds left. Maybe there's clarity at some point.
Okay, we can go ahead and play the rest, but I think it's just previewing the next video or something. Let's see.
Afraid of turning 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, adulting is hard because she's scared of being 30.
I thought she's turning 30. She looks like she's like 38.
Okay, I know how to make the last 10 seconds of this better. If we can just go back. I'm gonna demonstrate something here.
Okay, so after the mic.com logo from there on.
Yep.
Okay.
We're gonna play. Yep, we're gonna play it out, and I'm gonna make this entirely better.
Okay.
I'm excited. My body is ready.
Yep.
Go.
It's going to explain literally everything that we've just watched.
All right, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't you have to move it back though?
I thought I did.
You do, Brian.
I did.
Nope.
I didn't?
No, it's not playing for me.
It's not playing. You got to move it back. Move it back to 3 minutes. Was it?
Do you see it? Oh, I think I know why. I think it has to be restarted.
Do you think?
Okay.
Oh, no. For freaking SciTube.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
Where's that
here.
stupid music when you need it?
That's fine.
All
right. So ready?
Yep. So we've got the crazy woman doing her thing, and then a mic logo.
Yep. I'm on the mic logo now. I'm gonna play from here.
Still not
even
working.
seeing it, Brian.
What?
What is this?
Why aren't you
Jesus,
seeing
Brian,
it?
what?
You broke it, Brian.
How?
What? I don't know.
Oh, this is what I get for hiring Mexican labor.
Do you think
God damn it.
is?
Yeah. That's so good. Okay, so I'm jumping to the end. I'm gonna try this shit again.
care.
Do you see it?
No, and you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to give my explanation for what was going on anyway. The visual is not necessary for this, but it would have been helpful because I think it would fully explain it. So we get to the end, she's beating her little plastic whatever the fuck around and going like, yep, that's it. And now the explanation for everything you have just watched. La 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 yeah 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 la 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 la
Oh shit!
Play that over the ending sequence and everything makes sense.
Okay, let's try to coordinate this. Brian, can you show us?
We already did it.
No, but let's I love coordination. Here, go. Can you actually show us the final scene there?
I've been trying, but I mean, what I did was I played it when Teal Deer started talking, and it worked. So I managed it. You didn't see it, but you'll be able to watch it after the show is done. You'll be able to watch www.youtube.com/honeybadgerradio.
I don't actually think that's our. Okay. Okay, cut. Yeah, I think. Are we out?
No, we haven't. Ended. I haven't ended the show yet. I was just. Should I have done that?
I don't know.
The show yet. No.
Now we're in sort of an existential crisis with nothing to respond to.
Well, yeah, we're done.
If you like everything that you've just witnessed, please remember to donate at patreon.com/honeybadgerradio.
Yeah, do that.
Do it
that
for
would be
Keck.
nice. Do it for Keck.
Mm-hmm.
Do it for actual legitimate awkwardness. Like we are the genuine mining of awkwardness here. This hipster awkwardness is false awkwardness. It is the awkwardness of the deliberately attempting to be awkward but secretly wanting to control your brains through decidedly sinister means.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Are we out yet?
No, I'm leaving now.
Okay, that's like